This module will introduce the following aspects of digital libraries. Terminologies that have been used over a period of time to denote concept of digital library. Important definition for the term digital library. Why www is not a digital library. Major distinction between digital libraries and traditional library. Distinguished features of digital libraries and traditional information storage and retrieval system. Technological factors that are considered as enablers of digital libraries. Needs and purpose of digital library. The big picture of digital libraries with important components. Finally, examples of commercial, non-commercial, open access, and federated digital libraries.
Several terms have been coined at different times to represent the concept of library without books, libraries having information in computer-readable format, or having access to information in digitized or digital format. The terms which have been in vogue at different times include paperless library that was first used by Lancaster in 1978 in his book entitled Towards Paperless Information System, published by Academic Press. Libraries without boundaries has also been used to denote phenomenon that the library resources are accessible beyond the boundaries of library. The journal named Electronic Library was launched in 1983 by the IFLA that was published by Emerald. However, it essentially referred to online access to bibliographic, factual, numerical, and referral databases. The journal, Electronic Journal, is still published by the Emerald Insight. The relatively recent use of term digital library can be traced to the digital library initiatives funded by the U.S. National Science Foundation, the Advanced Research Project Agency, and the National Aeronautics and Space Administration (NASA) in the United States. In 1994, these agencies granted $24.4 million to 6 universities in US for digital library research impelled by the sudden explosive growth on the internet and web technology. The term was quickly adopted by the computer scientists, librarians, and others. Thus, while the term digital library is relatively new, the concept behind the term and information resources consisting of digitized resources has a history spanning to several years. While the terms digital libraries and electronic libraries are used interchangeably and synonymously, the term virtual library usually refers to the meta-resources or subject portals that extend virtual accessibility of digital collection from several diverse sources without the users even knowing where the resources actually resides. Unlike digital libraries, virtual libraries do not consist of full text resources. Instead, they are more like an index of relevant, hand-picked links to resources available on the web.
The term virtual library usually refers to the meta-resources of subject portals that extend virtual accessibility of digital collection from several diverse sources without the users even knowing where the resources actually resides. Unlike digital libraries, virtual libraries do not consist of full text resources. Instead, they are more like an index of relevant hand-picked links to resources available on the web.
Hybrid libraries are designed to bring range of technologies from different sources together in the context of a working library and also to explore integrated systems and services in both the electronic and print environment.
The term digital library is used loosely to describe full text collections. Digital accesses scan text, images, photographs, printed text, or digital video segments. Scientific data sets like protein sequences or nucleic acid sequences, etc. Online databases and CD-ROM information products with multimedia or interactive video components. Software libraries or multimedia works. Computer storage devices such as optical disc, jukeboxes, CD-ROM, DVD-ROM towers, etc. Database including library catalog accessible through the internet. Digital audio video clips or full-length movies. Commercial and academic system designed to enable electronic access to large corpora of electronic documents to authorized users. The term digital library was first used in 1994 in projects funded by US government called Digital Library Projects Phase 1. ARMS defined digital library as managed collection of information with associated services where the information is stored in digital formats and accessible over a network. Please note that the emphasis here is on managed collection, associated services, digital formats, and network.
The eminent information analyst Clifford Lynch defines it as digital library is a system providing a community of users with coherent access to a large organized repository of digital information and knowledge. The digital library is not just one entity but multiple sources that are seamlessly integrated. The emphasis here is community of user. That means users with specialized requirement, coherent access, means consistent, logical and coordinated access. Organized repository means that the collection in the repository is organized akin to a library. Digital information means digitized documents. Moreover, digital library is not a single entity but multiple sources integrated seamlessly.
Terence R. Smith defines it as digital library is control collections of information-bearing objects, IBOs, that are digital form and that may be organized, accessed, evaluated and used by means of heterogeneous and extensible set of distributed services that are supported by digital technology. Okay. Here again emphasis is on controlled collection. That means that the collection is well organized with metadata at different level. Information bearing objects refers to digital format of information including textual and multimedia content.
The ARL assigns following tenets to a digital library. The digital library is not a single entity. The digital library requires technology to link the resources of many. These links are transparent to end users. Universal access to the digital libraries and information services is the goal, and collections in a digital library are not limited to document surrogates. They also include digital artifacts that cannot be represented or distributed in printed formats.
Let's now examine why www is not a digital library. www is means for accessing digital library, but it is not a digital library itself. Digital libraries are organized and managed collection of resources. On the contrary, the www is disorganized and unmanaged. Much of the web contains ephemeral information, advertisement, personal web pages, announcements, etc. Most search engines hunt down their holdings from different websites across the globe, whereas digital libraries are generally more tightly controlled and have a targeted customer set.
Traditional libraries focuses on physical objects. Let's now examine principal distinction between traditional library and digital library. The traditional libraries are built around physical collection available in the libraries. Even the purpose of library OPEC is to point you to a physical location of a document. Tracking a physical object has both obvious and subtle implications. Object can exist only at one place at a time. Either a user can reach the object or wait for it to come to him or her.
Digital libraries versus traditional library. Digital library removes the physical restriction inbuilt into traditional libraries and provides multiple access, multiple listing, and electronic transmission of information. Digital libraries comes with collections such as intellectual property rights, digital rights management, terms and conditions, etc. Traditional libraries offer additional social and educational benefits. Most traditional libraries also offer hybrid services from physical as well as digital documents.
Let's now examine major differences between digital libraries and traditional information storage and retrieval system. Information retrieval systems are in existence since 1970s. They can essentially be considered as precursors to digital libraries. The basic unit of an information retrieval system is a document with focus on textual retrieval, whereas digital libraries, besides textual information, may also contain multimedia objects. Traditional information retrieval system is based on exact matching, Boolean, string of text, etc. Traditional IRS did not support fuzzy logic and inexact searching. Digital libraries is based on pattern searching, inexact matching, and fuzzy logic.
Let's now examine major differences between digital libraries and traditional information storage and retrieval system. Migration from information retrieval to digital libraries generally coincides with the spread of WWW. Typically, information retrieval system provide metadata access only, where digital libraries provides metadata as well data, wherein metadata is primarily used to search and retrieve data. Information retrieval system to digital library can essentially be treated as change in terminology with evolution in technology.
Let's now deliberate on three enabling factors that led to evolution of digital libraries. These three enabling factors are emergence of internet and web technologies as a media of information delivery and access that facilitated rapid access and linking to a wide variety of resources. Availability of highly evolved, extraordinary simple and intuitive user interface are, for example, Internet Explorer and Google Chrome for all prevalent platforms. Advances in online storage technologies enabling storage of large amounts of contents at increasingly affordable cost.
Let's now delve upon the needs and benefits of digital library. Digital libraries have no physical boundaries. They are accessible anywhere, anytime over the internet 24/7. Digital libraries offer multiple access to resources simultaneously. Single digital copy is sufficient to serve a large number of users. Multiple listing of same resource is possible as per the requirement of user. Digital libraries provides access to much richer content in a more structured manner. Digital libraries supports search of a phrase of word in entire digital collection. Digital library offers an alternative publishing model to counter rising acquisition and subscription fees.
Let's now delve upon the needs and benefits of digital library. Digital library facilitates conserving, preserving, and providing increased access to old, fragile, and deteriorating documents of high scholarly value. Digital library enables seamless access to e-resources distributed across the globe. Digital library can be manageable from remote locations. Digital library implementation can dramatically reduce floor space requirements as compared to conventional shelf-type storage of books and journals.
Digital library big picture. Now let's have a look at the big picture of the digital library as shown in the picture. Establishing digital library resources and services require a great deal of infrastructural components that are not available off the shelf as packaged solution. There are no turnkey monolithic system available for digital libraries. Instead, digital libraries are a collection of disparate systems and resources connected through a network. Components required for digital library can broadly be divided into the following 5 categories as shown in the picture given above. Collection infrastructure. The most important component of a digital library is the digital collection it holds or has access to. Viability and extent of usefulness of a digital library would depend upon the critical mass of digital collections it has. Digital resource organization. Digital library uses objects naming and addressing conventions as used by the internet and web. The concepts of URL, persistent URL, universal resource name URN, handles digital object identifier DOI, and open URL are used to identify each digital object. Available in a digital repository, uniform resource characteristics of metadata plays an important role in organization digital libraries. Access infrastructure. Access infrastructure in a digital library consists of search and browsing interfaces, subject, gateways, and integrated and federated search programs. Computers and network infrastructure. A typical digital library in a distributed client-server environment consists of hardware and software components at server side as well as at client side. Intellectual property rights (IPR) and digital rights management. The current paper-based concept of copyright breaks down in a digital environment because the control of copies is lost. Digital objects are less fixed and remotely accessible by multiple users simultaneously. Copyright is manifested in terms of license in digital world. A library is required to sign license to acquire access to digital collection. Digital library services. The digital resources and associated technical infrastructure is only a means to generate services, keeping its potential users in mind. Like printed resources are used in traditional libraries to generate services by library staff. The digital resources are used to generate services using software-driven web-based interfaces. Digital library services can broadly be divided into 2 categories, namely traditional library services modified for the digital environment and new services. Some of these services are offered by the digital library themselves, whereas other services are offered by the hybrid libraries with an objective to facilitate access to digital collections subscribed by them.
Let's now go some live examples of digital libraries with varies of digital content and targeted user community.
The New Zealand Digital Library, maintained by the University of Waikato, provides web access to several document collections with varied subject content, languages, and formats. The NZDL supports a simple but powerful bibliographic and full text search and browse interface, including hierarchical browsing the display. NZDL has given a lot of importance to structuring the search, browse, and display interfaces, making them user-friendly. Metadata, author, title, keywords, etc. plays a key role in supporting field-based searches and browsing. The NZDL has been built using the Greenstone Digital Library software, developed out of research program at the University of Waikato. The Greenstone Digital Library software, GSDL, is available freely as open source under the terms of GNU Public License.
The arXiv, started in 1991 by Paul Ginsberg at Los Alamos National Laboratory, is the oldest APRINT archive. The repository, now hosted at the Cornell University, has become a fundamental means of communication for a growing number of fields, starting with theoretical high-energy physics, later spreading to other areas of physics, and now also to computer science and mathematics. arXiv is leading example of successful implementation of developments in information technology, which led to an alternative model of scholarly communication. This archive processes 35,000 submissions every year. The arXiv has become indispensable to researchers worldwide, but in particular to research institutions in developing countries. The success and widespread adoption of arXiv has prompted establishment of institutional archives and subject-based digital repositories in different disciplines. Scientists and libraries have become aware of benefits of open access archiving that is being considered as an alternative method of scholarly publishing. The Institute of Mathematical Sciences, Chennai, maintains the Indian mirror site of arXiv.
Science Direct is the web-based interface to the full-text database of a commercial publisher, namely Elsevier Science, one of the world's largest providers of scientific, technical, and medical literature. Science Direct contains over 25% of world science, technology, and medicine information. It offers a rich electronic environment for research journals, bibliographic database, and reference works. The database offers more than 2,000 scientific, technical, and medical peer-reviewed journals. It offers a rich electronic environment for research journals, bibliographic databases, and reference works. The database offers more than 2,000 scientific, technical, and medical peer-reviewed journals, over 59 million abstracts, over 11 million full-text scientific journals articles, an expanding suite of bibliographic databases, and linking to another 1 million full-text articles via cross-ref to other publishers' platforms. In addition, the Backfiles program of Science Direct offers the ability to search a historical archive of over 7 million articles directly from the desktop of a user back to Volume 1, Issue 1.